So today we're going to talk about, does your business need its own bank account? In general, if you have a partnership, an S corporation or a C corporation or a nonprofit, there is no exceptions. That business absolutely has to have its own bank account. You do not commingle those businesses with personal, okay? Sole proprietorships are a little bit more of a gray area from a tax perspective. The IRS will not necessarily insist or expect to see a sole proprietorship run through its own business bank account. Now, from a legal perspective, there may be other implications, okay? So we are only talking tax perspective here. From a tax perspective, the IRS might not be alarmed if they see that a sole proprietorship does not have its own business bank account. However, that doesn't mean that that's what you should do, okay? Every business, regardless of how it is taxed, should have its own bank account, okay? Its own separate bank account, no commingling of personal and business funds, okay? It should have its own account. And there's a couple of benefits, even if you're a sole proprietorship. That business bank account can protect your personal accounts from potential examination and an audit. If the IRS wants to come audit a business expense and then all the substantiation is in your business bank account, they're going to be less likely to go through your personal. And then it just makes for cleaner bookkeeping. It's easier to do that way. It helps you keep track of your finances better. So please get your own business bank account. Now, when it comes to business bank accounts, generally, in order to set up a business bank account, you will need any sort of legal formation documents from your state. So if that business is an LLC, or if that business is a corporation, or some sort of formal entity in your state, you will most likely need your certificate from the state when you formed that business. And the bank will most likely require that that business has an EIN, and they will want to see that EIN letter. EIN letter is your CP 575 that you should receive when you apply for your EIN letter, okay? You will most likely need those two things when you go to the bank to open up your business bank account. You will need your ID and information on you as the business owner and the person who is going to be a signer on the account, okay? If you have other owners for the business, they will most likely also need to provide identification. When it comes to not having an EIN, so certain businesses such as sole proprietors that don't have employees don't necessarily need to have an EIN number, right? If you're in that scenario where you don't have an EIN number for your business, you're not required to get one. If you are a sole proprietorship, from the federal IRS perspective, it is okay for you to go open a separate personal account and have that be your business bank account. Okay, just keep it separate. Even though it's under your personal name, you're considered disregarded, or the business is considered disregarded, and is considered, from the IRS perspective, to be the same as you. So that's okay for you to have your business bank account be under your social. It's really important that you just separate business versus personal transactions, okay? As far as best banks to go to, really varies. I oftentimes like to recommend find a small bank where you can build a relationship with them, and then they can potentially be a source of lending later on. There's a lot of local banks around us that I see are really great for small business owners. In general, you can find fee-free banks. So please do not go spend $100 a month having a checking account. A lot of banks will provide fee-free checking accounts for businesses. I have a lot of businesses that also have checking accounts that are interest-bearing. So instead of having to have a checking and a savings, it's the checking account essentially kind of acts as a savings account, and that the bank will pay interest on the balance in that account. Those are great models because while your money sits in the bank for your business, it is making you money. Not necessarily a huge return, but you're still getting some interest with your money sitting in the bank. Okay? So in general, yes, please open up a separate bank account. It's not negotiable. If you have a partnership, an S corporation, or C corporation. If you have a sole proprietorship, from the federal perspective, it's, not necessarily required, but it is definitely best practice. So go ahead and open up that business bank account. If you have questions on how to get money in and out of that account, like how do I personally contribute to the business, we're going to go over that here in another video. And I'll cover what that looks like, how you transfer money in and out, how you pay yourself from the business, etc. It's a whole nother conversation, but you do need a business bank account. As a reminder, if you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, that allows us to make free content for you guys, and that would be very helpful. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave those questions in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Thank you.